Welcome to NFL News Update, where touchdowns meet headlines. Stay in the game with the freshest NFL updates. This is your quick dive into football fervor.
Philadelphia Eagles. Offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. Johnson will not be returning to the Eagles in 2024 after 1 year as the team's offensive coordinator, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reported on January 23, per a source. Johnson served as Philadelphia's quarterbacks coach from 2021 to 2022 before being promoted to OC in 2023. Seattle Seahawks. Head coach Pete Carroll. The Seahawks announced on January 10 that Carroll will no longer be the franchise's head coach after 14 seasons. Per a statement from Seahawks chair Jody Allen, the team amicably agreed with Carroll that his role will evolve from head coach to remain with the organization as an advisor. HC/GM interviews. Atlanta Falcons. Head coach interview requests. Joe Brady, Bills' interim offensive coordinator, completed. Brian Callahan, Bengals' offensive coordinator, second interview scheduled. Bill Belichick, former Patriots head coach, second interview completed. Aaron Glenn, Lions defensive coordinator, second interview scheduled. Jim Harbaugh, Michigan head coach, second interview scheduled. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, second interview scheduled. Brian Johnson, Eagles offensive coordinator, completed. Ejiro Evero, Panthers defensive coordinator, second interview completed. Mike Macdonald, Ravens defensive coordinator, completed. Raheem Morris, Rams defensive coordinator, hired as Falcons AC. Antonio Pierce, Raiders interim head coach. Bobby Slowick, Texans offensive coordinator, second interview completed. Mike Vrabel, ex-Titans head coach, completed. Anthony Weaver, Ravens assistant head coach / defensive line coach, completed. Steve Wilks, 49ers defensive coordinator, completed. Carolina Panthers. Head coach interview requests. Brian Callahan, Bengals offensive coordinator, hired as Titans HC. Dave Canales, Buccaneers offensive coordinator, hired. Ejiro Evero, Panthers defensive coordinator, completed. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, completed. Mike Macdonald, Ravens defensive coordinator, completed. Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator, completed. Raheem Morris, Rams defensive coordinator, hired. Dan Quinn, Cowboys defensive coordinator, completed. Bobby Slowick, Texans offensive coordinator, completed. Frank Smith, Dolphins offensive coordinator, completed. Chris Tabor, Panthers interim head coach, completed. Mike Vrabel, former Titans head coach, interview scheduled. General manager interview requests. Brandon Brown, Giants assistant general manager, completed. Mike Disner, Lions chief operations officer, withdrawn. Ed Dodds, Colts assistant general manager. Mike Greenberg, Buccaneers assistant general manager. Alec Calaby, Eagles assistant general manager, completed. Kai Harley, Saints vice president of football administration. Champ Kelly, Raiders interim general manager. Nick Matteo, Ravens vice president of football administration, scheduled. Dan Morgan, Panthers assistant general manager, hired. Samir Suleiman, Panthers vice president of football administration. Brant Tillis, Chiefs vice president of football operations, scheduled. Las Vegas Raiders. Head coach interview requests. Leslie Frazier, former Bills defensive coordinator, scheduled. Antonio Pierce, Raiders interim head coach, hired. General manager interview requests. Trey Brown, Bengals senior personnel executive, completed. Ed Dodds, Colts assistant general manager, completed. Terrence Gray, Bills director of player personnel. Champ Kelly, interim Raiders general manager, completed. Tom Telesco, former Chargers general manager, hired. Kelly Klein Van Callaghan, Broncos executive, completed. Los Angeles Chargers. Head coach interview requests. Brian Callahan, Bengals offensive coordinator, completed. Leslie Frazier, former Bills defensive coordinator, completed. Aaron Glenn, Lions defensive coordinator, completed. Patrick Graham, Raiders defensive coordinator, completed. Jim Harbaugh, Michigan head coach, hired as Chargers HC. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, completed. Mike McDonald, Ravens defensive coordinator, completed. Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator, completed. Kellen Moore, Chargers offensive coordinator, completed. Raheem Morris, Rams defensive coordinator, hired. Dan Quinn, Cowboys defensive coordinator, completed. David Shaw, former Stanford head coach, completed. Giff Smith, Chargers interim head coach, completed. Mike Vrabel, former Titans head coach, completed. Steve Wilks, 49ers defensive coordinator, completed.